Warm welcome to Professor P.C. Thomas classes and Chaitanya classes. Now we are going to present GMAIN 2020 mathematics paper, and today's paper is September 2nd, shift 2. So welcome to the first question. The area in square units of an equilateral triangle inscribed in a parabola y square is equal to 8x with one of its vertices on the vertex of this parabola is. We can see that this kind of problems is not in NCERT, but it is a very usual question in all the entrance examinations. So, just to draw the figure first. This is a parabola, y square is equal to 8x. Y square equal to 8x means for a is equal to 8, that implies a is equal to 2. And we will use the equilateral triangle, something like this. Suppose that this is equilateral triangle, this is a vertex. And the points we will use in parametric form. The parametric form is a t square, that is equal to 2t square, 2at, that is equal to 4t. So the parametric form, this point we will take it as 2t square and 4t. Okay, and as it is an equilateral triangle, we can see that this angle is pi by 6, 30. Total angle is pi by 3, now it is pi by 6. Now this will be 4t, and you can see that this is equal to 2t square. First we are going to find the value of t. You will apply tan 30, tan pi by 6. Tan pi by 6, you know it. What is tan pi by 6? That is equal to 1 by root 3, and that is equal to 4t divided by, that is equal to 4t divided by 2t square. Therefore, cancelling, you will be getting t cancels. 1 by root 3, that is equal to 2 divided by t. Therefore, t is equal to 2 root 3. So you are getting one point there. What is that point? Or we can say that this point is, or you need only the length. What you have to calculate is only the length a, side a. The formula for equilateral triangle, you know that. What is that? Root 3 by 4 into a square. So a is equal to, this is 4t, and now it becomes 8t. 8t, that is equal to 8 into 2 root 3, that is equal to 16 root 3. A is equal to 16 root 3. Therefore, area of the equilateral triangle is what? Root 3 by 4 into a square. That is equal to root 3 by 4 into 16 square is 256 into 3. On simplifying, you will be getting this cancelled, and 16 into 3 comes 16 into 3 root 3, that is equal to 192 root 3. 192 root 3, the option you can see, option is here. Okay. It is a very simple question if you know this parametric form and the method. If you know the method, it is very simple, not a lengthy one also. And the second question, f of x equal to -1 infinity to r, open interval -1 infinity to r, be defined by f of 0 is equal to 1 and f of x equal to 1 by x into log of natural logarithm of 1 plus x, and x not equal to 0. Then the function is, it is asked about whether the nature of increasing and decreasing. Okay. So for that, you know that you have to differentiate. So first you will calculate the derivative. What is the derivative? F dash of x. F dash of x is equal to first function into derivative of second function. 1 divided by 1 plus x plus second function into derivative of first function, that is equal to -1 divided by x square. Okay. You will take the common denominator as x square into, it is x square into 1 plus x, that is a common denominator. So you will multiply x here, x, and here is a minus, and you will multiply 1 plus x there. 1 plus x into log of 1 plus x. That is our f dash of x. And if you look at this f dash of x, we can see something about denominator. Here x square is always positive and 1 plus x. You know that x is greater than negative 1. Therefore, 1 plus x is greater than 0. So, the denominator is always positive. So, we will check what will happen to the numerator. For this, the nature of numerator, we define it as a new function. So, let us write it as g of x. Let g of x is equal to x minus 1 plus x into log of 1 plus x. Okay. Now, its derivative. What will be its derivative? G dash of x. G dash of x is equal to 1 minus. Again, you will apply the product rule. So, first into derivative of second. 1 plus x divided by 1 plus x plus second into log of 1 plus x into derivative, here it is 1 only. Okay. So, g dash of x is equal to, this is 1, 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So, minus is here, that is equal to minus of log of 1 plus x. And you are going to discuss the sign of g of x. What, that is the sign of f dash of x. Sign of f dash of x in the denominator positive. So, we are thinking about the numerator only. Now, what is the graph of log x? The graph of log x, you know, the graph of log x is something like this. Log of 1 plus x means this graph is shifted to 1 unit left side. So, this is the graph of log of 1 plus x. Okay. This is a graph of, it is not negative. I am saying about log of 1 plus x. We will consider negative later. Okay. Now, here we can see that from minus 1 to 0, from negative 1 to 0, this is negative. And 0 to infinity, this is positive. Okay. So, multiplying by negative, its reverse comes. So, what I can say is g dash of x, here negative, that comes positive, greater than 0 if minus 1 to, if in negative 1 to 0, and g dash of x less than 0 in 0 to infinity. Okay. Is it clear now? Here it is negative, as negative comes, it becomes positive. So, again we can see that, g dash of x, here it is increasing, and g dash of x, here it is decreasing. Sorry, not g dash, g of x. G of x means what you can say, this f dash of x. So, what will the graph of g of x now approximately? The graph of g of x will be, and also you will think about at x equal to 0, what will happen? G of 0 is equal to what? What will be g of 0? G of 0, here it is 0 and here it is 1, log 1 0. So, it is 0 only. Okay, g of 0 is equal to 0 and g dash of x is always decreasing. G dash of x increasing and decreasing. Therefore, g dash of x positive and negative. In left side of 0, it is increasing and up to what? This is y x axis up to 0. Okay, it is increasing up to 0. After that, it is decreasing. So, after reaching 0, it is decreasing. Okay, this is your x axis. So, the entire graph lies below the x axis. So, what you can say is the function is, its value is always negative. The graph is always in the, whose graph? F dash of x, graph of f dash of x. That is always below the x axis. It is always below the x axis. Therefore, what you can say? Its numerator is always negative. Its numerator is always negative and the denominator is always positive, and the function is now defined from negative 1 to infinity. So, in that domain, what you can say is it is always decreasing. The function is always decreasing. Okay, decreasing in negative 1 to infinity at where the function is defined. Okay, so we shall go to the next problem. Imaginary part of 2 plus 3 plus, so I shall write it as 3 plus 2 into root 54 into I, its root, minus root of 3 minus 2 into root 54 I. Okay. Now you know how to calculate the root of a complex number easily. Suppose that this is your z, then mod z can be written as root of 3 square 9 plus 2 into its square 4 into 54. 4 into 54. 4 into 54 is it is 216. 216. So mod z is equal to root of 225, that is equal to 15. Okay. Now its value, what is its value? Its value is plus or minus, you will write it as mod z plus a divided by 2, that is equal to mod z is 15 plus a 3 divided by 2. 18 by 2 9, its root is 3 only. So 3 plus I into, again it becomes minus 15 minus 3, 15 minus 3 12, 12 by 2 6, you will write root 6 minus plus or minus of, its negative will be there, its conjugate will be there, 3 minus I root 6, and there will be different cases occurs. Among these different cases, the given answer, only this answer will be satisfying. So the answer will be negative 2 root 6. Okay. Again, a very simple problem if you know this shortcut. Otherwise, it will be little more lengthy. So we shall go to the next question. Let E complement denote the complement of an event E. Let E1, E2, E3 be any pairwise independent events, and probability of E1 greater than 0. Probability of E1 intersection E2 intersection E3 is equal to 0. Then we have to calculate probability of E2 complement intersection E3 complement under the condition that E1 is already happened, given E1, that is equal to. Okay. So from here what you can write is probability of E1 intersection E2, they are pairwise, they are pairwise independent. So you can write it as probability of E1 into probability of E2. The similar result satisfies for all other the collections in pairwise. Again it is given probability of E1 intersection E2 intersection E3, that is equal to 0. So here what you have to calculate is probability of E2 dash intersection E3 dash given E1. By the definition, you can write it as probability of E2 dash intersection E3 dash intersection E1 divided by probability of E1. Okay. This is a formula. Now you will just draw the Venn diagram. Just to draw the Venn diagram. Suppose that this is E1 and this is E2 and this is E3. What is E1 dash intersection E3 dash intersection E1? E1 is there, E2 and E3 is not there. So we can say that this is the region you need. And how will you get this region? This region is obtained by subtracting E2 this portion. You have to subtract these two portions. This one and this one. These three portions you can subtract from E1. Now the problem is very easy, isn't it? So this is equal to what? This is equal to probability of, from this E1, probability of E1, probability of E1. From E1 we are subtracting. What you will subtract? You are subtracting this region. Probability of E1 intersection E2. Probability of E1 intersection E2 plus again this region. What is that? Probability of E2 intersection, this is E3 I think. E1 intersection E3 now. E1 intersection E3. E1 intersection E3. Then we have to subtract this region. What is this region? E1 intersection E2 intersection E3. Its probability is equal to 0. So you will write minus 0. Divided by probability of E1. And you will apply this result. Probability of E1 intersection E2 is equal to the product because it is independent. So here is a product, here is also a product, and here is probability of E1, here is probability of E1, probability of E1, probability of E1. Everything is cancelled. So what remains now? 1 minus probability of E2 minus probability of E3. Okay, so what is 1 minus probability of E2? That is equal to probability of E2 dash minus probability of E3. Is there any answer like that? E2 dash minus probability of E3. Probability of E2 dash minus probability of E3. Of course, this is an answer. E3. No answer. So, we will think about another possibility. So, we will just rearrange this one. This of course an answer, but there is no option. So, I will write it as this equal to 1 minus probability of E3 minus probability of E2. So, what is it? This is nothing but probability of E3 dash minus probability of E2. Probability of E2. But not dot. Okay, this answer is there. So, even if you are getting a right answer, there may not be an option there. So, we may be going to the next right answer, next possibility of right answer. Okay, so again a very simple problem for you. Next, if n greater than 2 be an integer, suppose that there are m metro stations in a city located around a circular path. There are some metro stations. These are metro stations. Okay. And each pair of station is connected by straight track only. Further, each pair of nearest station is connected by blue lines. So, we need some blue lines. These are nearest are connected by blue lines. Okay. And whereas all the remaining pair of stations are connected by red line. So, we need some red line also. We need some red line. This is not something like this. There are some red lines also. Okay. Now what is given now? The number of red lines is equal to, so let us write red. Red is equal to 99 times the number of blue lines. 99 times blue lines. Okay. And here are 1, 2, 3, etc. n. 1, 2, 3, etc. n stations are there. So, what is blue? How many blue lines are there? The blue lines, number of blue lines. How many blue lines? That is nothing but the number of sides. That is nothing but the number of vertices of this polygon inscribed this circle. So, what is the answer there? It's red. Blue is equal to n. 99 n you will get. And that is equal to red lines. What are red lines? The red lines are nothing but the diagonals, and number of diagonals formula also you know that. What is it? nc2 minus n. Okay. And simply very easily you will be simplifying it. N into n minus 1 divided by 2 minus n is equal to 99 into n. N is getting cancelled. N minus 1 by 2 minus 1 is equal to 99. Very easy now. N minus 2 is equal to 100. So, n minus 1 is equal to 200. You will be very happy that n is equal to 201. So, it is again a simple problem for you. So, answer is 201. Okay. So, we shall go to the next problem. The equation of the normal to the curve y is equal to 1 plus x whole raised to 2y plus cos square of sine inverse of x at x is equal to 0 is. What you have to calculate is the equation of normal to the curve. Suppose that there is a curve like this, there is a tangent also, and you need equation of normal. This normal is what we need. And first of all, you will find the point. What is the point here? This point at x equal to 0. X equal to 0 implies what is the value of y? We can say that y is equal to 1 plus 0 raised to 2y. That is only 1 plus cos square of sine inverse of 0. Sine inverse of 0 is 0. Cos square of 0, that is equal to 1. So, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So, the point is what? Point is actually 0, 2. Okay. Point is 0, 2 you are getting. Now, we have to find the slope of the tangent m1. How will you get the slope of the tangent? By just differentiating. So, differentiating you will be getting y dash is equal to, it is a f of x raised to g of x model, a function raised to function, logarithmic differentiation, you know it. What is the formula for logarithmic differentiation? F of x raised to g of x into f dash divided by f plus log g, log f into g dash. This is a shortcut formula, very simple formula that will help you to save a lot of time. So here what I will write is 1 plus x whole raised to 2y into 2y into derivative of this function, that is 1 divided by 1 plus x plus log of 1 plus x into derivative of 2y, that is equal to 2y dash. G into f dash divided by f plus log f into g dash. Again put x equal to 0 and y is equal to, don't try to collect y dash and final simplification as you are doing in your board examination. You just substitute the points, put x equal to 0 and y is equal to 2. So y dash is equal to, putting x equal to 0, you will be getting only 1, okay, 1 raised to something, into 2 into 2, 4 divided by 1 plus log 1 is equal to 0, remaining is 0. So y dash is equal to 4. So that you can say that m1 is equal to 4. Therefore, you will write m2. m2 is the slope of the normal. m2 is equal to what? Negative 1 by m1, you know it. Negative 1 by m1, that is equal to negative 1 by 4. Okay. Now very easy to write the, you will be very happy to write the equation of normal. How will you write the equation of normal now? What is the formula? Y minus y1. So y minus 2. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 1 by 4 into x minus 0. On cross multiplying, 4y is here, minus x is here. I think the answer will be x plus 4y. 4 into 2, 8. X plus 4y is equal to 8. Option 4 is the right answer. Very simple one again. Next question. Consider a region R is equal to set of all ordered pair xy such that R square is x square less than or equal to y less than or equal to 2x. If a line y is equal to alpha divide the area of the region R into 2 equal parts, then which of the following is true? The line y is equal to alpha, just remember that the line y is equal to alpha, it is a line parallel to x-axis. So you have to differentiate, so you have to integrate in which method? So the two equations are y is equal to x square and y is equal to 2x. In between these two, the region is in between these two. Y is equal to x square, you know the region. What is the region of y is equal to x square? This is the graph of y is equal to x square. Y is equal to 2x, you know it is a line. And in between the area means you can see that this is the area. Okay. And y is equal to alpha, you can see that y is equal to alpha is a line like this. This is a line, y is equal to alpha. And we will find the point of intersection. To find the point of intersection, one point is of course 0, 0. So I will write x square is equal to 2x, or we can say that x is equal to 2 or x equal to 0. X equal to 2 means y is equal to 4. So we can say that this point will be 4. Okay. So this point y is equal to alpha, the line y is equal to alpha, divide this region into 2 equal parts. Then what you have to calculate is the alpha. Okay. So we will differentiate with respect to y, integrate with respect to y, because here alpha, y is equal to alpha is given, limit is given along y axis. Therefore, we will say that from here integral 0 to 4 y1 minus y2 or y2 minus y1, no problem, into x1 minus, it is not y1, you have to differentiate with respect to y. So x1 minus x2 into dy is equal to 2 times the total integral is 2 times this one, integral 0 to alpha x1 minus x2 into dy. Okay. Now, what is x1? You will take one of these values. From here you can take x1 is equal to root 2y, and from here you can take x is equal to, that is x2 is equal to y divided by 2, y by 2. Okay. So, we will write it as integral 0 to 4 root 2y minus y by 2 dy is equal to 2 times integral 0 to alpha root 2y minus y by 2 into dy. Here root y integral is 2 by 3 y raised to 3 by 2 within the limit 0 to 4 minus y square by 4 will be there, y square by 4 within the limit 0 to 4, that is equal to 2 times again 2 by 3 y raised to, this 2 is common, don't forget, y raised to 3 by 2 within the limit 0 to alpha minus y square by 4, y square by 4 within the limit 0 to alpha. Okay. Now, we will apply the upper limit minus lower limit, and remaining simplification is again very simple one. You will be getting simple but not within 1 or 2 steps. I don't think that you will be getting, and after some simplifications you will be getting the answer is here. Option 2 will be the answer. Remaining part you can simplify just like 2 by 3 into 4 raised to 3 by 2, 4 minus 0 will be there. So, 4 raised to 3 by 2 is 2 raised to 3 minus, here you will be getting 4 square 16, 16 by 4 it will be 4, that is equal to 2 times, here again 2 by 3, alpha raised to 3 by 2, you are seeing that alpha raised to 3 by 2, so we will say that either 1 or 2 will be the answer, 3 and 4 cannot be the answer, minus alpha square by 4. Now we can multiply by 3 and 4, then the remaining part will be very easy for you. Okay. It is an average question, but as it is, it contains a lot of steps, so it is time consuming also. Remember that in this kind of, seeing the options itself, you may be able to understand that it will be somewhat time consuming. Okay, keep in mind that when doing these kind of problems. Next one is, if the equation cos raised to 4 theta plus sin raised to 4 theta plus lambda is equal to 0 has real solution for theta, then lambda lies in the interval. And this is a very famous usual question, cos raised to 4 theta, sin raised to 4 theta, cos raised to 6 theta plus sin raised to 6 theta, all these things. It's a simplification, you know that. What is it? A raised to 4 plus b raised to 4, that is equal to a square plus b square, the whole square minus 4 times, sorry, it is 2 times a square, 2 times a square b square. So, the expression can be written as cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is actually 1. Okay, right. So, this is actually, the expression is cos square theta plus sin square theta, the whole square minus 2 sin square theta into cos square theta, that is equal to negative lambda. And again 1 minus multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2, 1 by 2 into, you will be getting sin theta cos theta the whole square, 2 sin theta cos theta the whole square, that is nothing but sin 2 theta the whole square. Sin 2 theta the whole square, that is equal to negative lambda. Okay. So, on rearranging, 1 plus lambda is equal to sin square 2 theta divided by 2. You may multiply by the 2 here. So, left side is 1 plus 2 times 1 plus lambda, and right side is sin square 2 theta. And you know that the value of sin square 2 theta lies in between 0 and 1. As it is square, it cannot be negative. So, same value should satisfy left side also. So, what we are going to write is 0 less than or equal to 2 into 1 plus lambda less than or equal to 1. Dividing by 2, we will be getting 0 less than or equal to 1 plus lambda less than or equal to 1 by 2. Subtracting 1, we will be getting negative 1 less than or equal to lambda less than or equal to 1 by 2 minus 1, that is equal to minus 1 by 2. So you can see the answer negative 1 by 2, option 3. Okay. The earlier problem was little bit difficult, but you'll see that this problem is a very simple problem. Okay. So this question paper, it is a mixture of average questions, simple questions, and some difficult questions. Difficult in the sense it is lengthy, not conceptual difficulty, but the lengthy problems. A few lengthy problems you can see in this paper. Okay. The next question. Theta, for some theta belongs to 0 pi by 2, if the eccentricity of the hyperbola x square minus y square into sec square theta is equal to 10, shall we write it as in standard form? Dividing by 10, I will write it as x square divided by 10 minus y square divided by 10, and that is sec square theta, let me write it as cos square theta, that is equal to 1. Now the hyperbola is in standard form. Its eccentricity, what is its eccentricity? Eccentricity of this hyperbola, let me write as EH. What is eccentricity of the hyperbola? 1 plus b square by a square, 10 cos square theta divided by 10, that is equal to root of 1 plus cos square theta. Okay. That is the eccentricity of the hyperbola. Now, it is the eccentricity of this hyperbola is root 5 times the eccentricity of the ellipse, similar ellipse, then the length of the latus rectum of the ellipse is. So again we are going to calculate the standard equation of that ellipse. Okay, one thing you have done, next one will be very easy for you. What is that? X square divided by cos square theta plus y square is equal to 5 is there. So I will write it as y. How will you write it as 1? Dividing by 5. So I will divide by 5 here also. Then a very important thing you have to remember is what is your A and what is your B, or what is the larger length in the denominators. What is the larger length? You know that cos square theta is a quantity at most 1. It is a fraction or 1. So multiplying by fraction it becomes less. So this is your B square. Don't get confused. This is your A square. Okay. Therefore, eccentricity of the ellipse, let be E dash. Eccentricity of the ellipse E dash is equal to root of 1 minus B square by A square, 5 cos square theta divided by 5. This cancelled. 1 minus cos square theta, it is equal to sin square theta. This is equal to sin theta. Okay. Now, what is given? What is given? It is given that the eccentricity of the hyperbola is root 5 times the eccentricity of the ellipse. So it is given that EH is equal to root 5 times E dash. And what is EH? Root of 1 plus cos square theta. That is equal to root 5 into sin theta. Squaring on both sides, 1 plus cos square theta is equal to 5 into sin square theta, 5 into sin square theta, and you need cos square. So 1 plus cos square theta is equal to 5 minus 5 cos square theta. Sin square theta is 1 minus cos square theta. And you can see that 6 cos square theta, 6 cos square theta is equal to 4. Therefore, cos square theta is equal to 4 by 6, that is equal to 2 by 3. Cos square theta, value of cos square theta you are getting 2 by 3. Then what you have to calculate? Length of the latus rectum. What is the formula for length of the latus rectum? Length of the latus rectum is equal to 2b square by a. 2b square by a, that is equal to 2 into b square. What is b? B, we have written here b square 5 cos square theta. 5 cos square theta divided by a. What is a? A is equal to root 5. So 5 and root 5 cancel. 5 into, sorry, 2 into, it's actually 2. 2 into root 5 into cos square theta. Cos square theta is 2 by 3. So the answer is very simple now. 4 root 5 by 3. What is option? Option is here, option 4. Now we shall go to the next question. Which of the following is a tautology? It is again a simple problem. Always a simple problem is asking from this logic reasoning chapter. Tautology means the statement which is always true, that statement which is equivalent to T. Okay, we will check the answers one by one. So first one, if you check the first one, you will be getting it as negation of P. You will apply distributive law. Apply distributive law here. Negation of P and P, or negation of P and Q. That implies Q. And negation of P and P, that is equal to C. C or something, that is equal to this something. So you will be getting negation of P and Q, that implies Q. And again you have to remember that the statement P implies Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. Negation P or Q. So this is again is equivalent to what? Negation of negation P and Q or Q. Okay. And negation of this one is again P and negation Q or P or negation Q or Q. And negation Q or Q is tautology. Something related to tautology, that is always tautology. So option 1 itself is a tautology. You can save time. You are lucky now if you are doing this problem, because if it is not satisfied, you have to check for second one, you have to check for third one, etc. Okay. Question number 11. F from R to R be a function which satisfies f of x plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y, special function form, and f of 1 is equal to 2, and g of n is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 f of k. For all n belongs to n, then the value of n for which g of n is equal to 20. Okay. If f of x plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y, then one result you can say that what is your f of n? F of n is equal to n into f of 1. Okay. So here what I can say is f of n is equal to n into f of 1 is equal to what? 2. F of 1 is equal to 2. Okay. Now the summation is what? Sigma k is equal to 1 to n minus 1 f of k. That is equal to 20, it is given, that is equal to 20. Okay, is equal to 20 given. So we can say that sigma 1 to n minus 1 f of k is what? F of n is n into 2. So 2 into k, that is equal to 20. Now 2 is common, that is taken outside from the bracket. And here is a summation formula up to n minus 1. So the formula will be n minus 1 into n divided by 2. That is equal to 20. So this 2 and 2 cancels. N minus 1 into n is equal to 20. We use our common sense. We are not going to the quadratication. Consecutive of two numbers multiplied and gives 20. So I will write it as 4 into 5. Therefore n is equal to 5. So n is equal to 5. We are not going to form the quadratic equation, just use our common sense to solve this problem. Okay. Again a very simple problem. You know this formula, if you know this formula and this concept, this one. Okay. Next one, let ABC belongs to RB all non-zero and satisfies A cube plus B cube plus C cube is equal to 2. If the matrix ABC, BCA, CAB satisfies A into A transpose equal to I, then the value of ABC can be. So here A cube plus B cube plus C cube is given. You have to remember one of the very important formula relating to this one is relating that connects ABC and here we need ABC, value of ABC. ABC and A cube plus B cube plus C cube. What is that formula you remember? a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equal to a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. Okay. Now see, it is given that A into A transpose. A into A transpose equal to identity. A into A transpose is what? If you multiply A and into its transpose, then you can see that here ABC, here BCA, CAB, ABC, BCA, CAB, that is equal to what? 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Okay. The first row into first column will give a square plus b square plus c square. So you can write a square plus b square plus c square is equal to 1. All the diagonal elements will be a square plus b square plus c square equal c square. That will be equal to 1 there. And other elements, what will be the elements here? What will be the elements here? So first row into first column, AB plus BC plus CA. So that will be equal to 0. AB plus BC plus CA is equal to 0. Okay. Now what are the different things? A square plus b square plus c square you are getting. AB plus BC plus CA you are getting. One more thing we need. What is that? A plus B plus C. To calculate A plus B plus C, let us write A plus B plus C the whole square. What is A plus B plus C the whole square? You know that this is equal to A square plus B square plus C square plus 2 times AB plus BC plus CA. Okay. So, A plus B plus C, the whole square is equal to, this is nothing but 1. Therefore, A plus B plus C is equal to what? A plus B plus C is equal to plus or minus 1. Okay. You first take plus 1 and then you can take negative 1. Now, we substitute these values here. Substitute all these values here. A cube plus B cube plus C cube. What is that? It is equal to 2. All these values you are going to substitute here. Then you are going to get a result. A cube plus B cube plus C cube is equal to 2 minus 3ABC is equal to, this is plus or minus 1. First I will write 1 into, this again A square plus B square plus C square, that's again 1 minus, all these are minus of AB plus BC plus CA, that's equal to 0. Okay. Then I can write this only 1. So, taken to right side, 1 is equal to 3ABC. That implies what you can say? ABC is equal to 1 by 3. Check the options. Is there any option? Of course, you can see there is an option 1 by 3. If you are not getting an option, you have to go through what? Minus 1 also. You will be getting another result. Okay. So, here answer is obtained as 1 by 3. Yes. We shall go to the next question, question number 13. Okay. A curve y is equal to f of x passing through the point 1, 2 is the solution of the differential equation 2x square into dy is equal to 2xy plus y square into dx. Then what is the value of f of 1 by 2? I think you will be very happy to see this problem. Very simple problem. A usual NCERT question, I think. Dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to 2xy plus y square divided by 2x square. Okay, very simple. It is what? Homogeneous. It is a homogeneous differential equation. We will rearrange it as dy by dx is equal to, dividing by x square, you will get 2y by x plus y by x the whole square divided by 2. And on the next step, we substitute y is equal to vx, so that you will write v plus x into dv by dx, that is equal to 2v plus v square divided by 2. Okay. That is x into dv by dx is equal to 2v plus v square divided by 2 minus v. So we will take the LCM here itself. 2v cancelled. So v square by 2 is there. Again variable separable. Now separating the variables, what you will get? 2dv divided by v square is equal to dx divided by x. Okay, cross multiplying. then 2 negative 2 divided by integrating on both sides, negative 2 divided by v is equal to log x plus c, log x plus c, and is given one condition, it passes through 1 2, so we will substitute x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2, it passing through the point 1 2 is given. Okay, so putting x equal to 1 and y is equal to 2, before that we have to rearrange this one as what is it, instead of v we will write y by x, here you will write y by x, so reciprocal it is negative 2x divided by y is equal to log x plus c, putting x equal to 1 and y is equal to 2, x equal to 1, y is equal to 2, 2 to cancels, minus 1 is equal to log 1 0 plus c, that implies we can say that the equation is negative 2x divided by y is equal to log x minus 1, log x minus 1. Okay, now to calculate y, we will take the reciprocal, we will be getting y divided by negative 2x is equal to 1 divided by, if you cancel minus, I can write it as 1 minus log x. Therefore, y is equal to 2x divided by 1 minus log of x. Okay, we have to calculate what, f of 1 by 2, f of 1 by 2. This is your f of x, y is what, f of x. So f of 1 by 2 is equal to 2 into 1 by 2 divided by 1 minus log of 1 by 2. Log of 1 by 2 is minus log 2, so minus minus plus. So this is equal to what? 1 divided by 1 plus log 2. 1 divided by 1 plus log 2, a very simple problem, all the students can do it. 1 divided by 1 plus log 2. Okay, little bit lengthy, but all the steps are very simple, very simple. Question number 14, the sum of the first 11 terms of an AP, a very simple problem from AP, A1, A2, etc. is 0. Then the sum of AP A1, A3, A5, etc. A23 is K1. Then what is the value of K? That's the question. First given sum of the 11 terms. What is the formula for sum of the 11 terms? You know it, 11 by 2 into 2A plus n minus, that is 11 minus 10. 10D is equal to 0. 11 by 2 cannot be 0. So remaining is equal to 0. You will be getting cancelling to A plus 5D is equal to 0, or A is equal to negative 5D. Let be case number 1. Okay. From the first result you are getting like this. And second one is, it is alternative terms only. Second one alternative terms only, up to 23 is there. So only odd terms. So 2n minus 1 is equal to 23. Therefore n is equal to 12. Number of terms there it is 12. Number of terms is equal to 12. And d is what? The common difference d is nothing but 2d. D dash, let me d dash. D dash is equal to 2d. Okay. So it is given that, yeah, it's a sum. Its a sum is what? Number of terms is 12. 12 divided by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1. N minus 1 means 11. 12 minus 1 is 11. 11 into d. D is nothing but 2d. That is equal to what? That is equal to k into a1. A1 is nothing but your a. Okay. This is cancelled. You are getting 6. Okay. So again 6 into 2, 12. 12 of course. 12 into a plus 11 into d. What is d? D is equal to a by negative 5. Negative a by 5. That is equal to k into a. A, that is cancelled. So you will be getting 12 into 1 minus 5 minus 11. 5 minus 11 or 1 minus 11 divided by 5, that is equal to k. On simplifying, you will be getting it as negative k. Its value of k is negative 72 by 5. Okay. Simple one. Question number 15. S is the sum of the first 9 terms of the series, and that S is equal to, this is a series, and S is given as x raised to 10 minus x plus 45a into x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. On seeing this complicated expression, we may be confused a little bit, but if you carefully read it, you can see x, x square, x cube, etc. The first term is very simple GP. If you separate this one, I can write it as x plus x square plus x cube plus etc. Is it very easy? Okay. Collect the second terms, what you'll get? Plus k. In second term, you can see that a is common. In one more step you can write. You just write second terms, ka plus k plus 2 into a plus k plus 4 into a plus etc. How many terms? You have to remember it is 9 terms. This is your S. Okay. Now this S equal to, this is what? This is an GP with 9 terms. GP with 9 terms. So its answer is x into x raised to 9 minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay. Plus, and what is it? If you take a outside, a into k plus 2 plus etc. What is it? It is an AP. It is an AP. And its value, that is, it is given as, its value is what? X raised to 10. That you will write later. Now first we will try to simplify this one. So this equal to, opening this bracket, x raised to 10 minus x divided by x minus 1. But here there is a common factor x minus 1. So you will multiply this x minus 1 to here also. Before that I can write a into, what is it? It is a AP with 9 terms. AP with 9 terms. So what is the sum? 9 by 2 into. Never confuse with 9 and a. 9 and a. Always be careful getting confused with 9 and a. Okay. 9 by 2 into 2a. 2k plus n minus 1. That is 9 minus 1, 8 into d. D is 2. These two getting cancelled. That is equal to, now we can see that this is nothing but x, that s is here, it is given that x raised to 10 minus x plus 45a into x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, that is equal to this one. So here is common x minus 1. So here also we will take the common x minus 1. So I will write x minus 1 as common. This x minus 1 I will multiply here also. So x raised to 10 minus x is here, and this 2 and this 2 is cancelled. What remains now? Plus a into 9k plus 70 into x minus 1 into x minus 1. And you compare the terms, x raised to 10 minus x, no problem, x raised to 10 minus x, x minus 1 is there, x minus 1 is there, only the term difference is 45 and 9k plus 72. So we have to equate, what you have to equate? Only the term with the difference. Okay, this is the only thing we have to equate. All the other terms are exactly same. So what I will write? 45. A is common both sides, no problem. 45 is equal to 9k plus 72. 9 is common. So we will divide with 9. So I can write 5 is equal to k plus 8. Therefore k is equal to negative 3. K is equal to negative 3 is the given answer. We can see that option 4 will give k is equal to negative 3. Okay. An average problem, not very difficult and not very easy also. You have to do little calculations here. Next problem. Question number 16. A is given as a column matrix XYZ whole transpose means what? XYZ whole transpose means XYZ as a column matrix. And P of X is equal to 0. P of X is equal to 0. And also given that X square plus Y square plus Z square is equal to 1. What's the meaning of that? They are not all simultaneously 0. What is the meaning of that? This not equal to 0, 0, 0. Its meaning is that X square plus Y square plus Z square equal to 1 means they are all not simultaneously 0. That means there is non-trivial solution. Okay. And P is given. P is given. There is a P, it is given. Then we have to go through options. Contains more than one element, is an empty set, is a singleton, and contains exactly 2 elements. And this is what? This is a homogeneous equation. Homogeneous equation. It is given that P of X is equal to 0. The meaning is homogeneous equation. It is always consistent. Why? 0, 0, 0 is a solution. And if there is any other solution exists, what's the meaning of that? More than one solution. And the condition for more than one solution is what? Determinant of P is equal to 0. So, if determinant of P is equal to 0, more than one solution, that means infinitely many solutions. If you calculate its determinant, very easily you will see that determinant P that is equal to 0, you can calculate determinant. So, it contains infinitely many solutions. So, answer is here, contains more than 2 solutions. Okay, very simple question, provided you know the concept, and of course, I think you know the concept also. Here, f of x 17, f of x be a quadratic polynomial such that f of negative 1 plus f of 2 is equal to 0. If one of the roots of f of x equal to 0 is 3, then the other root is, suppose that roots are, other root lies in, suppose that the roots are alpha and beta. If the roots are alpha and beta, it is given that alpha is equal to what? Alpha is equal to 3. Alpha is equal to 3, beta we don't know, we have to calculate the beta. And the equation is given, we can write the equation as f of x is equal to, as it is a quadratic polynomial, a into x minus 3, why 3 is the root, into x minus beta, why beta is the second root. And given f of minus 1 plus f of 2 is equal to 0. First you will calculate f of negative 1. F of negative 1 is equal to a into negative 1 minus 3 into negative 1 minus beta. Here negative taken outside, here also negative taken outside. You will be getting a into 1 plus 3, 4. 4 into beta plus 1. That is our f of negative 1. Now we will calculate f of 2. Calculating f of 2, 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3, negative 1. And 2 minus beta. 2 minus beta, and here it is negative 1. So I can write beta minus. So a into beta minus 2. And adding these two, f of negative 1 plus f of 2, the answer is 0. Adding a common, a into 4 beta plus 4 plus beta minus 2, that is equal to 0, because the sum is given as 0. 4 beta plus beta, that is equal to 5 beta. A cannot be 0, you know it, a cannot be 0. 5 beta plus 2 is equal to 0, therefore beta is equal to negative 2 by 5. It's a negative fraction, proper fraction, negative side, and that number, that will of course belongs to negative 1, 0. Okay. Next problem, limit x tends to 0 tan of pi by 4 plus x all raised to 1 by x is equal to. Putting x equal to 0, we can see that tan pi by 4 is 1 raised to infinity. This is actually 1 raised to infinity form. So the method, you know it, we will apply this as limit x tends to 0, we will add 1 plus tan of pi by 4 plus x minus 1 whole raised to 1 by x. That is equal to limit x tends to 0, 1 plus, you will write it as 1 plus tan x divided by 1 minus tan x minus 1. We will collect this together, whole raised to 1 by x. That is equal to, we added 1, subtracted 1, this expanded and collected the second two terms together. Limit x tends to 0, 1 plus, simplifying, you will be getting 1 plus tan x minus 1 plus tan x divided by 1 minus tan x whole raised to 1 by x. That's equal to limit x tends to 0, 1 plus 2 tan x divided by 1 minus tan x whole raised to 1 by x. Now it is in the form of 1 plus f of x raised to g of x. The formula, you know it, e raised to limit x tends to 0 to tan x divided by 1 minus tan x into 1 by x. That is equal to e raised to tan x by x becomes 1, 2 divided by 1 minus tan 0, 1, so 2 by 1, so e square. We will collect these together. Tan x by x you will collect together, that becomes 1, and this is 1, 1 minus 0, 1, so e square. Okay, again not very difficult, but these kind of simplifications you have to study. In most of the question papers you can see this kind of problems. So familiarize with the previous year question papers if you are going to write an competitive examination. 19. A plane passing through the point 3, 1, 1. Here is a plane that is passing through the point 3, 1, 1. Okay. And it contains two lines whose direction ratios are, there are two lines, one line like this and another line like this. Its direction ratios are given as 1 negative to 2, 1 negative to 2, 1 negative to 2, and next one is 2, 3 minus 1, 2, 3 minus. These are the direction ratios. They are not the points, they are the direction ratios, dr. dr of line. If this plane also passes through the point, this plane also passes through another point. What is the next point? Alpha minus 3, 5. We have to find the value of alpha. What is the value of alpha? That is the question. How will you get it? Very simple. Find the equation of the plane, substitute. Find the equation of the plane and then substitute. Okay. To get the equation of the plane, we need its direction ratio of the normal. How will you get the direction ratio of the normal? This is the normal to the plane, normal to the plane. That normal is nothing but its a cross product. Suppose that this is B1 and this is B2 vectors. It is nothing but B1 cross B2. Okay. That we can easily calculate. Suppose that ABC is the direction ratio of, ABC is the direction ratio of the normal to the plane, then B1 cross B2, its direction ratios only we have to calculate very easily. You will write it as 2, 3 minus 1, 1 minus 2, 2, again 2, 1, 3 minus 2. Here you will write A, here you will write B, and here you will write C. So A is equal to, what is your A? A is equal to 6. What is it? 1 negative 2, sorry, here it is 1, wrongly I have written. The dash ratios are 1 negative to 2, 2, 3 minus 1, 2, 3 minus 1. Then we will write 1, 2, negative 2, 3. Okay. A is equal to, here I will write A and B and C. A is equal to 2 minus 6. 2 minus 6. That's equal to negative 4. B is equal to 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1, that's equal to 5. And C is equal to 3 plus 4, that is equal to 7. Okay. Now we are getting the direction ratio of the normal to the plane. Then easily you will write the equation of the plane. What is the equation of the plane? Equation of the plane is A into x minus x1 plus b into etc. So you will write negative 4 into x minus, what is your x1? This is a point 3, x minus 3 plus 5 into y minus 1, this is your 1, and plus 7 into z minus 1. Again, you are not going to simplify all these things. You are not going to find the equation of the plane in standard form or Cartesian form. You need only this much. We have to find only the value of alpha. Substitute this point here and simplify. You can find the value of alpha as, substituting negative 4 into, instead of x, I will write alpha. Alpha minus 3 plus 5 into, instead of y, we will write minus 3. Minus 3 minus 1 plus 7 into, instead of z, we will write this 5. 5 minus 1, that is equal to 0. This is equal to 0, of course. Okay. Now we can simplify this one, and the answer will be alpha is equal to, I think it is negative 5 after simplification. Sorry, it is not, it will be 5 actually. It will be 5. Simplifying, you will be getting 5 answer. 5 will be the answer, not negative 5, 5. The remaining numerical simplification you can do very easily. Question number 20. The set of all possible values of theta in the interval 0 pi for which the point 1, 2 and sin theta cos theta lie in the same side of the line, x plus y is equal to 1. Suppose that is a line, actually this is not, x plus y will be like something like this, of course. The line x plus y will be like this, is equal to 1. Substituting the point 1, 2, what you can say is 1 plus 2 and 1 plus 2 greater than 1. Okay. So what you can say here, 1 plus 2 greater than 1 is there. Therefore, the same condition we will apply for sin theta and cos theta also. What you are saying is both of these points lie on the same side of this curve. So as 1 plus 2 greater than 1, you will argue that, what you will argue? Sin theta plus cos theta also greater than 1. You are going to argue like this. Okay. Same sign will be there. So our equation is sin theta plus cos theta greater than 1. Multiplying and dividing by root 2. So simply you can divide by root 2. Root of a square plus b square, you know it. So 1 by root of a square plus b square. Root of a square plus b square. A and b are 1. Root of 1 plus 1, that is equal to root 2. Dividing by root 2. 1 by root 2 into sin theta plus 1 by root 2 into cos theta, that is greater than 1 by root 2. And one is sin and other is cos. So this is nothing but sin theta into cos pi by 4. This is your cos pi by 4 plus cos theta into sin pi by 4 greater than 1 by root 2. And this is nothing but sin of theta plus pi by 4, theta plus pi by 4 greater than 1 by root 2. Okay. Sin theta values, you know that it is actually increasing from 0 to 1, then 1 to 0. Okay. Among these, up to here you will be getting some 1 by root 2. Okay. From here it is increasing, it is greater than 1 by root 2, and from here it decreasing, and at 3 pi by 4, this value theta is pi by 4, and at 3 pi by 4 you will be reaching again 1 by root 2, and after that it is lesser. So we need this region, this region. What is this region? Pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4. So we are going to write pi by 4 less than theta plus pi by 4 less than 3 pi by 4. Subtracting pi by 4, we will be getting 0 less than theta less than pi by 2. 0 less than theta less than pi by 2, we can say option 2. Option 2, 0 to pi by 2. Okay. Now we can see some numerical problems. Let it integer part of t denote the greatest integer less than or equal to t, then the value integral 1 to 2, what is it? Modulus of 2x minus integer part of 3x. So, two types of splitting you need. One is for modulus and another is for box. Okay. Here we can say that 0, so it is not 0, it is starting from 1. The value of x is starting from 1 less than x less than 2. But here it is not x, it is 3x. So, we will multiply by 3. So, 3 less than 3x less than 6. From 3 to 6, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You know that box x changes its value at every integers. So, it changes at 4 and 5. So, what is the corresponding value of x here? Instead of 3x, you have to consider it as x. So, what you will write? 3x is equal to 4. That implies x is equal to what? 4 by 3. Again, so here, up to here it will be answer will be 3. Then, next is 3x is equal to 5. That implies x is equal to what? X equal to 5 by 3. And after that you can see that the integer value is 4. And after 5 to 6, integer value will be 5. So, we will split the integral with these 2 points. How will you split? I is equal to integral, instead of 1 to 2, I will write integral 1 to 4 by 3. Integral 1 to 4 by 3. 4 by 3 modulus of 2x minus what? 2x minus 3, this is actually 3 to 4. The integral part is 3. Dx you assume plus integral 4 by 3 to what is next? 5 by 3 modulus of 2x minus what is the value? There the integer part is 4. Assume dx plus integral 5 by 3 to 2 integer modulus of 2x minus what? Here onwards the integral value, integer value is 5 into dx. Okay. Again, from 1 to this one, we can see that 2x is smaller than this one. So, you will write reverse. Substituting 1 itself, you can see that 2 minus 3 negative comes. So, what I will write? Integral of 1 to 4 by 3, 3 minus 2x, the first one, plus integral 4 by 3 to 5 by 3, 4 minus 2x plus integral 5 by 3 to 2, 5 minus 2x. Okay. Now, what you have to do? You have to integrate all these values and simplify. There are different methods also there, but all that methods we have seen that all these methods are lengthy, little bit lengthy. Not this concept is not difficult, but the numerical calculation you will see that it is lengthy. It is not a fair question to ask on this kind of entrance, because up to this is okay. Remaining part, how many simplification you need? Okay. So, 3 into etc. The integration and adding all these things, value will be 1, that you just integrate and substitute all these values. Okay. Not a fair question, I think. Another method also there, but that methods are also lengthy. Next one, 22. For the positive integer n, 1 plus 1 by x whole raised to n is expanded in the increasing powers of x. If 3 consecutive coefficients in this expansion are 2 is to 5 is to 12, then n is equal to. And you know that the three consecutive coefficients are NCR minus 1, that is to NCR is to NCR plus 1. That is equal to 2 is to 5 is to 12. Okay. From here we can write NCR divided by NCR minus 1. What is its formula? Its formula is N minus R plus 1 divided by R. That is equal to what? 5 divided by 2. Cross multiplying, you will be getting an equation. What is it? 2n minus 2r plus 2. That is equal to 5r. Or we can say that 2n minus 7r plus 2 is equal to 0. That is a first equation. First equation. And the second equation is, what is the second equation you are going to write is, third divided by second. It is NCR plus 1 divided by NCR is equal to 12 divided by 5. Its formula is what? Its formula is N minus R divided by R plus 1. Cross multiplying 12R plus 12 is equal to 5N minus 5R. So 5N minus 12 and 5, 17. 17R minus 12 is equal to 0. You are getting second equation. Two variables and two equations, and you can solve. If you know the cross multiplication method of solving the two simultaneous equation, remember the cross multiplication method of solving the two simultaneous equation, you do not want to equate the coefficients and so on. So directly you can write the value of n. You will be getting n is equal to 118. Value of n will be equal to 118 solving these two equations. If you are going to solve the equation in your 9th standard method, it will not be easy. But if you know the cross multiplication method, it will be easy. 23rd question. The variance of the terms in an increasing AP. Increasing AP means D is positive. B1, B2, etc. B11 is 90. Then the common difference of this AP is, again, a very simple usual question from statistics. Okay. What is the formula for an AP? Variance of an AP. Formula for variance of an AP. Variance of an AP is actually D square into N square minus 1 divided by 12. That is given as 90. Okay. But N is equal to what? N is equal to 11. So 11 square 121. 121 minus 1. D square into 121 minus 1 divided by 12. That is equal to 90. So D square into 120 by 12, 10 is equal to 90. You will be getting D square is equal to 9. Very simple. D is equal to 3. You will be very happy to do this problem. So you have to by heart this formula, otherwise it will not be easy. Suppose that you are drawing some tables one, so you cannot do it. But you can do this method, using this method in few seconds. Next problem. Let the position vector of the vectors of points A and B be I, J, K, I plus J plus K and 2I plus J plus 3K respectively. A point P divides the line segment AB internally in the ratio lambda is to 1. If O is the origin, OB dot OP minus 3 times OA cross OP the whole square is equal to 6, then lambda is equal to. Okay. So internal division formula, very simple formula actually. You can see that 2 points are there. One point is A and another point is B. And point A is given as 1, 1, 1, you know it. And point B is given as 2, 1, 3. Okay. And here is a point lambda. Sorry, lambda is here. Lambda is to 1 is the division point. Suppose that is a point P. Okay. What is the point P now? Using the division formula. Using division formula, P is equal to 2 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1, and lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1, actually that is 1, and 3 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1 using the internal division formula. What is next? O is the origin and OP, this O. You can see OA, OP, all these things. Now what is, this an equation is given. For this equation, we will first calculate OB dot OP. OB dot OP. First you will calculate OB dot OP vectors. You have to take the dot product from your direction ratios only. You don't want to write I, J, K, etc. on this problem. You just multiply the coefficient, rectangular coordinates. 1 into this one, 1 into this one, 1 into this one, add. So you'll be getting, adding all these things, what you'll get? Can you just add this one? Common denominator is lambda plus 1. Common denominator is lambda plus 1. And add the numerator 2 lambda plus lambda, 3 lambda, 3 lambda. Oh, sorry, OP is here. So you have to multiply here. Not OA, OP, OB dot. So 2. 2 into 2, 4. 4 lambda plus 2. 4 lambda. 4 lambda plus 2. 2 into 2, 4. 4 lambda plus 2. Here it is lambda plus 1 itself. Now 3 into 3, 9. 9 lambda plus 3. That is equal to 10, 14. 14 lambda plus 7. 6. 14 lambda plus 6. Divided by lambda plus 1. That is the first part only. For the second part, OA cross OP is there. OA cross OP. We will calculate OA cross OP. For which we are going to write I, J, K. You have to write some terms instead of numbers. I, J, K, leave some space. OA it is 1, 1, 1. And next one is OP. OP you have written here. What is it? 2 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1. And here it is, of course, 1. And there you can write 3 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1. We have to evaluate this determinant in an entrance question paper. I do not think that it is fair to do this kind of questions in an entrance question paper. Anyway, suppose that you are calculators, you need only the direction ratios only. You need only the direction ratios because you have to take the modulus square. So we are going to write the direction ratios only. So cross multiplying for this one, I can write 3 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1 minus 1. That is the first one. Second one is minus j into, that is minus of 3 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1 minus 2 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1. Third one, k into plus of 1 minus lambda 2 lambda plus 1 divided by lambda plus 1. On simplifying, you will be getting the direction ratios of that cross product is here lambda 2 lambda. So 1 cancels. It will be 3 lambda plus 1 minus lambda minus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 cancel. 3 lambda minus lambda 2 lambda will be there. 2 lambda divided by lambda plus 1. Here minus of 2 lambda minus 3 lambda minus 2 lambda, lambda will be there, 1 cancels. So minus lambda divided by lambda plus 1. Here also you will be getting negative lambda divided by lambda plus 1. These are the direction ratios of what? This term. Cross product. Now we will take its modulus square. Taking the modulus square, modulus of this square is equal to its square 4 lambda square. Common denominator is what? Lambda plus 1 the whole square. Plus lambda square, that is equal to 6 lambda square divided by lambda plus 1 the whole square. All these values we will substitute there. All these values we will substitute there. How will you substitute? First one it is this one, OP, OB dot OP. You are getting it. What is it? 14 lambda plus 6 divided by lambda plus 1 minus 3 times this one. 6 lambda square, 3 times 6 lambda square divided by lambda plus 1 the whole square. That is equal to 6 given. Again we have to multiply with the lambda, common denominator is lambda plus 1. So we will be writing it as 14 lambda plus 6 into lambda plus 1 minus 18 lambda square, that is equal to 6 into lambda plus 1 the whole square. After simplifying, you will be getting it as 10 lambda square minus 8 lambda is equal to 0. So you will be getting it as 10 lambda cannot be 0. Lambda cannot be 0. Therefore, lambda you will write it as 8 divided by 10, that is equal to 0.8. Again, a lengthy problem in an entrance question paper means it is a difficult problem. Concept is not a difficult, everything you know it, but it is not fair to do all these steps in a entrance question paper. Now come to the last question, question number 25. Y is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to 6 k into cos inverse of 3 by 5 cos kx minus 4 by 5 sin kx, then dy by dx at x equal to 0 is. Okay. So, suppose that y is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to 6 k into, let me Tn. Suppose that time is Tn or Tk. Let me Tk. What is that? 3 by, so Tk I can write it as 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. You know that there is a right angle triangle with 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So 4, 3 and 5, and this angle becomes some alpha. Okay. So this equal to what? This equal to cos inverse of 3 by 5 is cos alpha cos kx minus sin alpha sin kx. That is equal to cos inverse of cos of alpha plus kx. That is equal to alpha plus kx. Very simple now. That value we will substitute here. Therefore, y is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 to 6 k into kx plus alpha. That is equal to sigma 1 to 6 k square x plus k alpha. Now we differentiate on both sides, dy by dx, that is equal to sigma 1 to 6 k square into derivative of alpha, derivative of x is 1, derivative of this one is equal to 0. And that is equal to, there is no value of x to put x equal to 0. So we will directly calculate it. Sigma k square, you know, value is the value n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. That is nothing but 6 into 7 into 13 divided by 6. 6 is cancelled. 7 into 13, that is equal to 91. The answer will be 91. It is of course an easy question. So coming to all these questions, we can see that at least 20 questions are very easy. 5 or some questions are somewhat difficult not in the sense of concept, they are lengthy, but we can score an average student itself if you are there studying regularly and practicing so many previous year questions. These kind of papers you can do it. You have to identify the difficult questions, lengthy questions for the better performance and economic use of time. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.